It's on already?
Yes.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال سبحانه وتعالى: تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام. صدق الله المولانا العظيم. All praises to our Lord, and peace and blessings be upon Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the final messenger. As Muslims, when we sit down to eat, we say Bismillah, or the longer dua, Bismillahi wa barakatillah. Barakah is something we're all seeking. It's the unquantifiable thing. Sometimes you can't put a number on these kind of things. It's just barakah, like blessings. And we even want it in our food, which takes 5 minutes to eat, but we still want barakah in it. So imagine the rest of our life. Do we want more barakah in there? Of course we do. In our body, in our health, we want barakah. In our wealth, of course we want barakah. In our bedrooms, in our living rooms, in our spaces, we want blessings. So we are seeking barakah and blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives that barakah very easily. Those of us who are older, whenever we used to say the name of Allah, we would say, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wa Amma Nawaluhu. Those who are older, they know that word. Amma Nawaluhu. Guess what that means? Amma means his blessings. They're common. Everybody has them. Nawal means barakah, like his blessings. Wa Amma Nawaluhu means unki ni'mati aam hai, like his blessings go everywhere. In Arabic, they also say Alimul Ihsan. Alimul Ihsan is the Lord whose blessings are just everywhere. So that means if Allah blesses so easily, what is it that stops us from getting blessings? Last night was Bara'ah night, the 15th Sha'ban. Even there, the hadith mentions Allah forgives many, many, many people. But some people are not forgiven. On a very special night, Allah wants us to be blessed before Ramadan comes, so He gives us wholesale forgiveness. Everybody's getting forgiven just like that. Because Allah wants us to be clean before Ramadan comes. So He forgives everyone for their past sins. But some sins are not forgiven. Why? Even though Allah wants to bless us, but the sin is so complex, it's such a disgusting sin that it stops Allah's barakah from coming to us. So the hadith mentions there's a few things that a person doesn't get forgiveness because of those sins in his life. So we wrote them down on the board here. There's 8 of them. So let's go through them and let's try to think of our lives and see where we are blocking our own barakah. The first one is shirk, where a person's understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not good enough. We have to understand Allah is the prime doer. He gets everything done. You can get as much education as you want. You can have the fattest degree in the world. But if He doesn't want you to be rich, you will not be rich. You cannot overthink Allah's powers. He's beyond that. And you cannot overthink your success and say, how come I'm not successful? How come I don't have more? Have tawakkul, keep working hard, but don't overthink. Overthinking never gets us anywhere. And we know Allah is the prime doer. He does everything. By doing shirk, leaning on magic, leaning on nazar, evil energy, like we don't need that. Stick with the Lord, stick with Tawheed. The next one is enmity, dushmani. Dushmani is this negative feeling that a person walks around with just to not be happy for somebody else's happiness. So I walk around with a negative face, like it's for no reason. It's a negative face. When you smile, I go, why is he smiling? Somebody you see a happy family, you go like this. Anything you see good, your face becomes ugly. Why? That means something is dangerously wrong in my soul. Something dangerously wrong. It's not a small sin. Please understand. We're going to cover the same topic in number 7. Pride. So pride and jealousy, they kind of go together. Shaitan had pride. And he had jealousy towards Adam alayhi salam. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Adam his Khalifa, that triggered Shaitan because he's thinking, oh no, I do more worship than Adam. How come he's getting violence? So it made him disrespect the Lord because he couldn't understand Allah's blessings. So sometimes we look at jealousy and pride as small sins. They are the biggest sins ever. Let me give you an example of how quickly jealousy can come in. For example, I'm alim. If a 15-year-old Hafiz comes and he's going to lead us in Taraweeh, I cannot have thought cross my mind, oh, he's only 15, how come he's my imam? No, he's a Hafiz. He knows the Quran, Baba. He knows the Quran by heart. He is chosen. He's full of barakah. He can stand here. He's 15. He's more blessed than me because he's a Hafiz. Do I not understand that? He is chosen. So keeping animosity, dushmani in the heart. And by the way, every single one of us, when we were children, we were taught a little bit of racism, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of negativity towards the poor people, towards the rich people. We were taught all these things. That's how society works. You're taught negative things. So I don't care where you're from, there is some negativity that we were taught as children. You have to pick up on it. In fact, some of our countries have negativity towards religious people. We know some of our countries where the religious people are seen as with negativity, like, oh, it's so religious. We have all these things in our souls. Please don't forget these things. The next one is wine drinking. Why is wine drinking a problem? Why is it a barakah blocker? Because it makes us dysfunctional. Anything that makes me dysfunctional, I don't go to work on time, I'm not doing something right, I'm losing my job, I'm losing my school, I'm failing my credits, I'm failing semesters, because I'm not in my right state of mind. Anything that messes with the human function is a problem. Anything that affects the human functionality is a big problem. That's why distracted driving, why is it a big crime? We all do it, we all go, like all these big, but it's shaitanic business. It's 100% shaitanic business. You're moving a big vehicle. You can kill somebody in 0.5 seconds. You can kill somebody just like this. 0.5 seconds, person is dead. Why? Because you're texting someone. Why is it a problem? Why is it a crime? Distraction. So anything that distracts us, other bad behaviors, games, whatever it is, other addictions online or whatever, if they distract us, they're messing up our lives. Netflix, games, whatever it is that keeps us too occupied is a problem. A little bit of game, a little bit of entertainment is not a problem. But if it takes over my nights, every night I go to sleep late, every morning I'm missing my fajr, what's happening? Every night I'm going to sleep late. In Ramadan, every iftar I'll have a problem. Every Taraweeh I'll be tired. Why? Because I was up last night. So Taraweeh is gone. Why am I tired? Why are you so tired all the time? Why are we tired all the time? Yes? Yes, that's exactly what it is. We're not taking care of ourselves. Because we have this amazing technology, we're wasting ourselves. We think my internet is unlimited. My life is not unlimited. The phone is unlimited. My body is dying. Every day I'm one day closer to death. Every 24 hours, I died 24 hours more. The other day I was joking with the kids here, the his class students, and they were chatting. I'm like, hey man, leave me alone. I'm half dead. I'm past 40. I'm half dead. I'm halfway close to my death. So let's not take distractions too lightly. They are a problem. Next one is disobeying parents. After teenage, once a person becomes a teenager, because his brain is forming so fast, he has intelligence, dynamic thoughts. That's when a person starts realizing, wait, my parents, they're not 100% like know-it-all. They can make mistakes. And that's when a child starts thinking, oh, my parents don't know much. That jump where they see some doubt in us and they think my dad doesn't know nothing. No! Your dad knows 1,000 times more than you. Maybe he doesn't have an answer for the whole world's problems, but your dad and mom, they know a lot. They've been around the block, they've been around the world, they know what's happening. They know your weaknesses. If they tell you that's not a good friend, leave that person alone. If you're falling in love with a girl and your mom tells you don't do it, don't do it. She knows. She knows ladies better than you do. If your dad tells you that guy's messed up, don't do it. Don't talk to that guy because he's going to destroy your life. Your dad knows because he's been to school 40 years ago and he had the same type of a kid in his life that destroyed his life probably. So when your dad tells you don't be friends with someone, your dad knows what he's talking about. So let's stop playing with our parents. And number two, we're too busy for our parents. We're too busy for our own parents. We just don't have enough time to be nice to them. We all have the same excuse, work. Every single one of us has the same excuse. Uzr, I'm busy. Everybody has the same excuse for every worship. I'm busy. But we all have time to waste online. I don't know how that works, but Shaitan is so smart. He tells us, no, you're busy. No, you're so busy. But if you look at somebody's online activity, 4 hours. You're like, what? 4 hours of online activity and you're busy? So Shaitan is playing a really good game on all of us in making us ignore our people, our family, our children, our wives, our spouses. Everyone will ignore it because Shaitan is playing a good game and fooling us into silly excuses. So one of them is disobeying parents and not taking care of them because I'm too busy or whatever the reason. The next one is taking a life. That's obviously a murder. The hadith talks about it. Anybody who becomes a cause of somebody dying, that is obviously a major sin. So that is not even something to discuss. The next one is haram relationships. This is another issue. Many of people that are delaying their marriages for school, work, immigration reasons, PR and all these things, they're in the middle stage of their life where they're not able to get married, but they're lonely. They are lonely. And humans that are lonely, they want connection. So they start talking to people for prolonged periods of time. 1 year, 2 years, 6 months. You're not even getting married, Baba. Why are you talking to her so much? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. That's a girlfriend now. That's not a halal relationship anymore. If you spoke to you sometime before nikah, that's different. But to talk to her 24/7 and message back and forth, where's that halal? Even though you might get married in the future, but those 5, 10 years, they're all haram years. We're doing a lot of haram in our relationships. So we have to be careful. Haram relationships, they are barakah blockers. They will stop barakah in our own families. And we have to learn to make marriages more simple. Because we complicated the halal, the haram became easy. As a society, haram is so easy. One click away, you get haram pleasures. Haram pleasure is less than a penny. But halal things are becoming more complicated because we want to make it complicated. Women love to complicate their marriages. They want a Bollywood and a Hollywood marriage. You want the bridesmaids the same colors. You want this color carpet. You want that kind of parda. You want this light, this candle, this light, this candle, this flowers, matching roses. Too much money. I think what happened was we saw too many movies and then we thought, okay, every life has to be a movie now. We saw so many movies that now we imagine every life situation should look like a movie scene. Movie scenes are $1 million scenes. Why are we trying to make our basic home life a marriage, a multi-million-dollar movie scene? We can't do that. It's too much of a wastage. And after the wedding, everything goes in the garbage because it was one night use. So by making the halal too complicated, eventually everybody starts leaning on the haram because it's cheaper. Make the nikah more simpler. And by the way, you don't have to invite everyone to your nikah. Even a sahabi, he was seen with a special color on his shirt. It was a perfume that usually ladies put on their body and faces. So when a person gets married and he hugs his wife, some of that got onto his clothes. So it was a common sign that somebody's married recently. When the Nabi saw him, he said, "Hey, what's with the color? You married?" He said, "Oh yeah, I got married recently." He didn't even invite Nabi to his own wedding. Because there was no need, like, oh, he's my Nabi, but I'm not going to invite every single Muslim or every time every Muslim is getting married, the Nabi has to come. No, they just knew that if he blesses us, he gives us hidayah, that's good enough. You don't have to invite 15 cousins and 25 chachas and all that. Nobody has to come. Invite 2-3 friends and do your nikah. That's make it easy. 200 people, 500 people, 700 people. We don't need that kind of weddings. Marriage means feeding one extra mouth. Marriage means feeding one extra mouth. That's the spouse. You want to feed her for the rest of your life. You have to feed 500 people on the wedding night. That's too much mujahada. Walima could be done. A small amount of food being fed. 20, 30, 50 people. Simple food. Not 5-course meals. And it makes it so complicated. And I'll tell you one story, then we finish off, inshallah. One day, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam got married on a journey. He was traveling. The nikah was done. Now the time came to have the walima, the feeding of the people. And by the way, walima is done after the husband and wife meet. Once they have spent some time together in privacy, the walima is the next time, after that. Walima is after the husband and wife meet. It's not before. The Western culture, the day they get married is a big food. That's not how it works. Walima is the day after. It's when the two families have met, the husband and wife have met, that's a barakah. Now you celebrate that barakah by having a meal as a family together. So we eat the food after the barakah is already achieved. Now the dilemma in Nabi Sallallahu wedding was, there was no food available and he's traveling, he has no extra money with him. So guess what he did? He had a potluck walima. Potluck is when you tell people, bring your food. So he literally told people, bring your food, let's sit down and eat it together. Imagine how simple that is. You're saying, hey, bring your lunch here. Imagine you're at work and all your friends have their little lunch bag and you say, hey, bring your lunch. I got married yesterday. He's like, Baba, you made a lunch. This is my lunch. He's like, no, it's okay. Come, you eat it. It's my walima. You eat it. We all laugh because I got married yesterday. That's how simple Nabi Sallallahu walima was. He just got married. He didn't have no food available. He told people, bring your own food and let's eat it together. So life is very simple. We made it complicated, and that's why haram relationships are getting bigger and bigger. The people's list of haram relationships on their phones are long lists. 15 girls he's talking to. 10 girls he's talking to. What's happening? Because we complicated the halal. So may Allah save us. Today's bayan was about barakah blockers. How some sins literally stop barakah from coming to our lives. Otherwise, Allah is full of barakah. His name, Allah, is full of barakah. Tabarak asmuka and sabbih isma rabbika al-ala. These different ayat tell us Allah is full of barakah and His name is full of barakah. And these are the things, shirk, animosity, negativity in the heart, alcohol, drinking, vaping, smoking, anything that messes up your faculties, messes up your judgment, that is a barakah blocker. disobeying the parents, not respecting them, that is a barakah blocker. Taking a life, becoming a means of somebody dying, a murder, a haram relationships, and the last one was always lowering the clothing below the ankles out of pride. Pride is a major sin. We talked about pride and jealousy. They're big sins, they just don't look big initially. But eventually, that's one thing how Shaitan became misguided when he couldn't understand to respect Allah's commands. And the last one is connected with number 2, which is cutting off family ties. When a person becomes too successful, he starts talking smack about his own family, his own chacha, uncle, he talks bad about everybody. So we shouldn't do that. As we become successful, we should become more humble.